I'm Amy Jo Stump. Honestly, I was raised in a wonderful Christian home by great parents. My mistake came when I left home, decided to get married very young. It wasn't a good marriage. I didn't ask God to guide it. I just tried my best on my own, and we were in church, but things were bad, and I did my best to hide it. And there was a lot of bitterness, there was a lot of anger, there was a lot of unforgiveness that I didn't even realize I was carrying until actually just recently, probably about a year ago, that during the time that all of this was going on, and after I tried to get therapy, I talked to counselors. Basically, everybody kind of told me, because of what I'd gone through, it was all okay to be angry, and they justified and gave me excuses to hold on to the anger and everything that I was going through. And that's hard, because I know I was taught that if you don't forgive, you're not forgiven. And I knew that in my head, but I couldn't seem to make it happen in my life and in my heart. I didn't know how to let go. I didn't know how to make things better. I did have some verses that just kind of go along with everything. Matthew 14 and 15 about forgiveness. For if you forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if you forgive not men their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses. And that's hard, because I grew up knowing that. And when I was a PK. I was a preacher's kid. My grandfather was a preacher. My dad, my brother, my uncle, basically all the men in my family, they were Baptist preachers, and that's how I grew up. And there didn't seem to be any life in that for me. And the taking everything that you learned from the Bible and applying it to your life, that part was difficult, and I didn't know how to do it. And I would ask people, how do I make this happen? How do I forgive? How do I let go of the anger and the bitterness and everything that was going on, the resentment that I had by all the betrayal? And everybody would always just say the same thing, you have to give it to God. I'm like, how? How do you do that? I go and I'd pray and I would seek, and it just didn't go away. And it's just a hard thing to live with. And then when you have people saying that it's okay, that it's understandable, because that's what the world says. They say it's okay. You went through all of this stuff, so you can hold on to that. It's all right. But it's not all right, not in God's eyes. And I had one for bitterness also. Ephesians 4:31. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. And be ye kind to one another, tenderhearted, forgiving one another, even as God, for Christ's sake, hath forgiven you. And again, I knew all these things in my head. So I did learn that through prayer and praise and time in His Word, He can let all that go. It just melts off. And in doing so, He's replaced it with joy and contentment and tenderness of heart and clarity. Just clarity on what He wants for me. And that was something I didn't know. I just kept praying, Lord, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Show me what you have for me to do. And He started really showing me a whole lot with that. And I was My friend and I went to Tennessee to listen to Priscilla Shire, and during the time of the worship, the things that I bawled through the entire thing, just praising him. And the things that kept coming to me was gratefulness and thankfulness and joy. And those are things that I kept asking for. Just the joy, mostly. But I was just so grateful for the praise and thankful for his mercies and his grace to let me get past all of that and move forward. And there was, in the Passion, Ephesians 3:20. It says, never doubt God's mighty power to work in you and accomplish all of this. He will achieve infinitely more than your greatest request, your most unbelievable dream, and exceed your wildest imagination. He will undo them, for his miraculous power constantly energizes you. And it's just so true. I love the way the Passion puts that. It says so much, and it's just so good. And I'm just so thankful about my church, my family, my wonderful husband. He's very supportive and kind. Thank you.